Okay, let's talk one more time about the Enschede Marathon before I'm gonna shift my focus to the upcoming triathlons. This time I want to talk about the gear I used, the pacing plan I had, my nutrition strategy, because it all played a part in running a new personal best. I talk a lot about shoes on this channel, so let's start there. For the Enschede Marathon, I used this Saucony Endorphin Speed 5. I was doubting between two shoes, either the Topo Spectre or this Saucony. I ran a practice marathon, the Kruidbeker Marathon near Antwerp on the Topo Spectre, and it's a very fast shoe. I easily run there within 4 hours and I wasn't even trying very hard. The thing is, the Spectre is also a hard shoe, so for this Enschede Marathon I wanted to have something a little bit softer. This Saucony has a nylon plate. Maybe you can just see it there, maybe you can hear it. A nylon plate holds the middle between no plate and a carbon plate. The thing is, a carbon plate puts a lot more stress on your calf muscle, especially when you run a marathon. So if you're gonna run a marathon on carbon plated shoes, it's something you have to get used to. You have to take time training on those shoes, do a couple of long run on those shoes. The nylon plate I've been training on for a while and I know it's fast. In my interval trainings, I run very fast times on this Endorphin shoes. So I choose this Endorphin for this marathon and I'm very sure it helped me to get my personal best. For socks, I just like these Wabiks socks. I mean, for me the only job a sock has to do is absorb the sweat and make sure I don't get any blisters. These Wabiks you can design. Sarah always makes a design for me that goes along with my shirt. They do the job. I'm gonna try soon a couple of other socks, but for this race I just trusted on these Wabiks socks. Then as shorts, very simple pair of Craft shorts, super light, no shaving problems with them, nice shorts. As for the shirt, this is an Owayo shirt. Again, you can make your own design. That's why it's a Running Dutchman and a Running Dutchman shirt. Sarah makes them for me. They're light, they're comfortable. I like sleeveless, gives me less shaving underneath my arms. So super nice shirt. In case it was cold, I have this Absolute 360 arm sleeves. I didn't have to use them, but I had them with me. I like arm sleeves. You put them on, you can strip them down when it gets hot, but especially at the start when you're waiting, you get cold very easily. So I like these things. I often have them with me, either in my race vest. Now the temperature was nice, so they were not needed, but it's handy to have. I run with a CamelBak Apex Pro race vest. I know, for a marathon you don't need a race vest. It's just I like to bring my own sports drink. I run with Näak, we'll talk about that in a minute. This one holds 2 soft flasks and this bag, it's kind of light for a bag that can hold a lot of liters of gear. But what I like most about this CamelBak is that it doesn't hang that much on my shoulders. I have that with Salomon CamelBaks, and at some point my shoulders start to hurt because the bag is pressing down. This one, for some reason, it feels really more around my chest, not constricting me. It feels really light, really easy. So I just like to run with a vest so I can bring my own stuff to drink. Then I have the flip belt. You've probably already seen the review. It holds my phone, it holds some handkerchiefs. It's just a nice, easy piece of gear. I know I can put my phone in my race vest. I just like it to have it in the flip belt. Plus, I know for some reason the flip belt keeps my low back warm, which I prefer during a race. So that's it for gear, unless you want to know that I'm using this compress bib belt. I prefer it instead of having all the needles. I always hang with my hand for some reason in my bib number and then I tear it. This compress race belt is just very, very easy to put the belt on. Okay, moving to nutrition. I had a very simple, straightforward nutrition plan. One gel about 10 minutes before the start. Breakfast was around 6:30-ish, so then it takes a couple of hours before you actually start to race. So it's nice to have a gel before the start to put some energy in your body. For the rest, every 5 kilometers, either a gel, either a waffle, or these like little booster gels at the end of the race. 5 kilometers is around 26 minutes and the pace I was racing, so it means it's at least 2 gels, gel and waffle per hour. I think it's a nice reminder every time you're done 5 kilometers, 10 kilometers, all those 5 kilometer points, there is always a sign with a clock. It's a reminder to take a gel. I know it's a lot. I've been running ultras. I trained my stomach to handle so many gels. And the good thing is I didn't bunk at the end. My energy throughout the race was good up until, let's say, kilometer 37. Thanks to eating. A lot of the bunking, I think, can be prevented by taking off enough nutrition. Finally, pace plan. It was very simple. I wanted to break 3:44 on the marathon. I use Garmin's PacePro strategy. If you want to run 3:44 on the marathon, you have to run 5 minutes, 19 seconds per 5 kilometers. But at the start, you're not directly running 5:19. So I calculated that I would lose about a minute at the start. Then final kilometers, I thought I might slow down. So I took another minute for that. So I said, okay, I want to break 3:42. So I put in the computer 3:42 instead of 3:44 to know how fast I had to be per kilometer. It turned out I had to run 5:16. I made that 5:15 as it's an easier number to remember. So that's 26:15 per 5 kilometers plus lose a minute at the start is 27:15 and then add up 26:15 for every 5 kilometers and a minute at the end. I wrote all those things down upside down on my bib number. So when I was wearing my bib number, I just had to fold it and I could see 5 kilometers, 27:15, 10 kilometers, 53:30. Was the easiest pace plan I could do. I know you can do beautiful things with negative split or a positive. I don't know, I just went for straight numbers, 5:15. So every time you do a kilometer, your watch beeps and you look at, okay, am I below 5:15 or maximum 5:15? I sticked with it if I look back, and I was good up until kilometer 30 and then I noticed I slowed down a little, but I knew I had that minute extra, so I wasn't worried. Plus at the start, my first 5 kilometers was way faster than 27:15, so I didn't lose that minute at the start. So I knew I had a little bit to lose, and I finished in 3:41:44, way faster than the 3:44 I wanted. So I had a good race. I had my personal best. At the same time, my energy stayed good because I had all these gels, all this sports drink, but the legs weren't great. I already felt halfway that I had to work hard. My quads were painful, so I know that's more in there. So now I have my 3:41. I think I can actually go under 3:40, but that's for the end of this year. Now I have a trail coming up, going back to the trail this weekend, and then I'm gonna focus again on the triathlons. But this one with a new PB is in. I hope you had a great race. I hope you had a great race weekend as well. And as always, keep on running.
Trainingen van alles is vandaag uit in jouw eindtijd op de marathon. In deze 56e uitvoering van de Enschede Marathon gaan we met jullie finishen. Kom maar!